One of the hardest inevitables that I had to accept that comes with life is that you're gonna outgrow people. Sometimes you're gonna go on two different paths and you guys no longer align in each other's lives. Sometimes you might be close one day and then 2 months later, you're completely apart and haven't talked for weeks. Disconnecting from people is an inevitable that comes with life. And sometimes you do more damage trying to force people into your life than you do just letting them go. I learned this process as I was on my journey of kind of self-growth and kind of being on my own. And I started to notice things. I started to notice the people who actually reached out to me. I started to notice the people who would only talk to me unless I talked to them. Started to realize who only reached out to me if they wanted something from me. And throughout this, you kind of understand like who's an outlier, who's a close friend, who you should value, who you should keep close, and kind of who's just like in your life from time to time, but not really a core person, not really a person you can rely on, not really a person that you can trust. And as I started to grow myself, as I started to become a better person, as I started to improve my life and how I viewed the world, my mindset and things like that, and the type of person I wanted to be, I started gaining an understanding of who I needed around me. I started gaining an understanding of the type of people I needed around me that aligned with the person I was trying to become. So whether that was a content creator, whether that was someone out of college who was like striving to be successful by a certain age, or striving to be out of my parents' house by a certain point in time, I had to surround myself around people who enabled me to accomplish that life. Because say I'm around people who smoke all day, say I'm around people who are lazy, say I'm around people who normalize not giving their best every single day, that's gonna rub off on me. Like, you are a product of your environment. And if you're constantly around people who give off the energy that, is gonna be okay, everything's gonna work out eventually, and that you don't have to be in control of your own life, and that life is just gonna come to you, and that you don't actually have to take any action, it's gonna rub off on you. It's gonna make it seem like, oh, you know what? That is a way that I could live my life. That's a normal way of living your life. That's how I should live my life. But in reality, bro, nothing's gonna come your way unless you go out and get it. Like, opportunities are gonna arise, but you can't just sit around waiting for them to come. And then even when they do come, you have to take action on them. And so what I had to realize is that I am going to outgrow people. Sometimes you and another person are just going to be in two completely different mindsets. And what I learned to do was determine how much you could tolerate of a single person before their habits and the way they live their life rubs off on you. So maybe you do have a lazy friend. Maybe you have a person who is comfortable where they are in life, but you're trying to strive for better. They're comfortable being average, or they're comfortable not giving every day their best. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like, I'm no longer friends with you, or I no longer fuck with you, whatever. Like, sometimes it's just a matter of, I can only hang out with you once a month. I can only hang out with you every couple weeks, because I can't allow how your way of living to basically rub off on me. Or maybe you have a friend that smokes every single day. Maybe you don't go around them when they smoke, or maybe you don't go around them every day, whatever. Like, you learn to gain an understanding of how much you can tolerate certain people, and then there's other people where it's like, they just don't belong in your life anymore. Like, sometimes you literally outgrow people and their way of living, the type of person they are, maybe the mindset they're in, their maturity level, where it's like, you no longer serve a purpose in my life. I'm trying to move forward in life, and you're going the complete opposite way, to where you serve no purpose being around me. Maybe a year or two ago, I was where you were, but now I'm trying to grow into something better, and my better doesn't align with who you are. And the thing with that is that sometimes that's going to bring you a lot of heat. Sometimes people are going to call you out, calling you fake, saying you changed, saying you're too good for them. Or in reality, bro, all you're doing is doing what's best for you. And that's all you could do at the end of the day. You're not obligated to spend time around certain people. You're not obligated to give people your time in general. So for people to have an expectation that you owe them something, you owe them your time, you owe them conversations, you owe them explanations for you distancing yourself from their lives, is like, it's crazy, because you truly don't. Like, sometimes you literally just have to understand what's best for you and just do that with no explanation to other people, no trying to negotiate. Because at the end of the day, your first instinct and knowing the person you're trying to become is what you should go with. And when you start trying to gain other people's opinions for them to kind of negotiate why you should be in their life, why you should keep them around, that's when you start second guessing yourself and not doing what you feel called to do, but rather like forming into the person who others want you to be. Because the truth is, everybody's life journey looks different. I'm at the age of 20 and I'm in the mindset of, I'm trying to grind. I'm trying to move out of my parents' house. I'm trying to get successful as early as possible, where, I know other people who are like, I'm comfortable living at my parents' crib, or I'm in college, so I'm chilling, or I'm just waiting around for opportunities to arise. And things like that. Like, everybody has different circumstances, everybody has different mentalities, and it doesn't mean it's anything personal. It's just an understanding of like where we are and understanding like what type of people I need around me for what I'm trying to accomplish at this point in my life. For me personally, the people I want around me is people who are in my same mindset, who are trying to grow into the best version of themselves and actually taking action towards it. When you surround yourself around people who are in a negative mindset of just complaining, or all they do is talk words but never put actions, or they're constantly living in fear, that stuff begins to rub off on you. Like, every time I talk to a person, I don't want to hear them complaining about where they are in life, and then I'm observing them and then they're taking no action towards it. I don't want to be around someone who's constantly trying to project their fears onto me and saying why I shouldn't live my life this way or why I shouldn't live my life that way. I don't want to be around someone who's just comfortable being average and saying like, bro, you're working too hard, or bro, you can relax, like you don't need to work that hard, whatever. Like, you got to gain an understanding of the type of people you want around you, because you want people to enable you to move forward. You want people who support you and encourage you for what you're doing. You want people who you could go to and ask for help for, how can I do this better? How can I improve in this area of my life? You want people around you who are better than you, like people who are at that high place or near that high place that you're looking to go up to. So say I'm a YouTuber, I'm at 500 subs, and I know a friend who's at 5,000 subs. I should want that person around me to gain an understanding of what I need to do to get to that point in my career, or get to that point with my YouTube channel growth. Or maybe for me, I have a bunch of followers on TikTok. Like, other people should want me around them to be like, hey, how do I get to that point? How do I grow my TikTok into how you grew yours? Like, you want people around you who truly challenge you to become a better version of you, who truly can give you ideas, different perspectives, different tips on how you can grow into a better person. Because the truth is, when you're only around people who are levels below you, or just at a completely different place that you've passed, maybe, you got past that maturity stage, you got past that level of trying to improve yourself, or you got past that level of living in fear and things like that. No, now you've passed that level, but you still have people around you who are down at those levels. Like, they have nothing new to offer you because they haven't even gotten up to where you are. They can't even see the things that are above you that you eventually have to take on and overcome, because they're still down there. And so they have no value to offer you, essentially, and in that aspect of your life. Like, some people are gonna be in your life and they're the ones you could trust, they're the ones you could rely on, they're the ones that you can ask for help, and they'll show up. Like, those people you want to keep around you. But then it gets to a point where there's like pointless people around you, where they really don't serve a big or deep purpose in your life, and they're kind of just there, and they might be in a negative headspace, and it's just like unnecessary people in your life, to where like it's unnecessary opinions, it's unnecessary complaining, it's unnecessary drama. Like, you got to gain an understanding of the type of environment you need around you at this point in your life. Because I'll be real, it's hard as fuck finding people who truly are on the same mindset that I'm on at this point in time. Like, it's truly hard to find people who are trying to become a better version of themselves. It's truly hard to find people who don't just value sex and actually value like real relationships and things like that. So I have to understand that when I find certain people, like, I have to value them. I have to make sure I'm showing up for them. I have to make sure I'm showing that love to them, and that I'm returning the value that they bring into my life. Because at this point in the world, like, good, genuine people are rare. People who are loyal, people who you could trust, people who you can rely on is genuinely rare. So when you come across those types of people, you have to understand, like, keep them around you, value them. You have to make sure that you give them your best if they're giving their best to you. And when it comes to those hard moments where you have to outgrow certain people, you have to understand that it's not your responsibility for other people to grow. Like, one thing I used to struggle with was trying to force people to become somebody they're not ready to be. Like, trying to force them to have my mindset, trying to force them to be in the mental state that I am. in. But in reality, like, everybody has their own journey. Everybody has to go through their own experiences in order to shift their mindset and realize that they need to make changes, or they have to go through that one tragic event that makes them want to change. Because for myself, I was that person who was cool being immature, cool being where I was and not striving towards anything. And then I went through a tragic event where I hit rock bottom, where I came to realization, I had to change something in my life, where I started striving towards being something better. And I can't force that on the other people, because sometimes they just have to go through their own journey, and everybody's journey is going to look different. So who am I to judge somebody for where they are in their journey, knowing that I used to be in that same exact spot? So I can't make myself responsible for trying to change them into somebody they're not ready to become, because I'm not responsible for the events that they need to go through in their journey. God has a plan for them, and I'm not responsible for making them follow that plan. I'm not responsible for trying to turn that plan into my own plan for who I want them to be. And so what I had to understand was that sometimes you're just gonna have to leave people behind. Like, sometimes you're gonna have to go on with your life and go on with your journey and keep leveling up in your life, and not feel bad for having to leave people behind. Like, if they're true, genuine friends, like, they will feel a sense of proudness for you becoming the person that you want to be, for you leveling up your life, for you becoming a better person. And they won't feel any type of way for you not taking the time to bring them with you, essentially. Like, you not trying to force your journey into their journey, or you trying to force your vision into their vision. Like, some people will be proud of you doing what's best for you and understand like that they are responsible for their own journey and their own growth. But yeah, if you're currently in that stage of outgrowing people, where it feels like nobody relates to where you are in life, or it feels like you're trying to move on from people, or you feel obligated, or like you owe people your time because they've been in your life but they really don't align with who you're trying to become, like, understand that it is okay to outgrow people. It is okay to move on from people, and understand that they serve no purpose in your life. They aren't the person that you need them to be at this point in time. You might have to distance yourself from certain people that you used to be close with, or you might have to distance yourself from certain family members because they live in a negative mindset. They live in fear. Like, only you know what's truly best for you. Only you truly know what environment you need around you in order to become the person that you're trying to become. And with that knowledge, take the action to know what you need to do what you need to do. But yeah, I appreciate you if you made it to the end of this video. Hopefully it brought you some value and you learned a thing or two. Join up on the Discord, follow the Instagram and the TikTok. And as always, I love and appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.